Here we are, doing some filming, getting in, a little different gym. We moved to a different place. That was all of yesterday, so I didn't actually end up coming into the gym yesterday.
Attention members and guests. For the owner of a black Jeep,
nope, not us.
Number plate BIS105, please make themselves known to reception. I repeat, the owner of a black Jeep, number plate BIS105, please make themselves known to reception. Thank you.
Not my car. Anyway, first set for Jesus. Okay, it's good times. So, we were moving the first couple of days, or so, yesterday we were doing some moving. So, I was planning to come to the gym later in the day, but we went out, got some hot pot, and I fell asleep sitting on the living room floor area with my wife, which is good fun. So, big day yesterday. I didn't get too much sleep either. It seems to be the day before we move somewhere. Something about it. I seem to end up staying up to like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. I get really excited, or something about it happens. So, what are we, we're the 9th now, Tuesday the 9th. So Monday, technically Sunday the 7th. No, I think we're Wednesday today, yeah. So Monday the 7th of July, I stayed up until, I didn't go to sleep and then stayed up till 4 or 5 a.m. the 8th, which was the day we were moving. So I got a fair bit less sleep, and as a result of that, I was pretty tired yesterday, but it was fine. I was chilling. We got here a little early, and I took a quick lie down in the car whilst Yana went to the shop to get a couple of things with the dogs in the car, and I had the dogs in the car. And I just closed my eyes for 5 minutes, was listening to a bit of a Jocko podcast, the Chris Williamson one of them. And then she came back, but I felt pretty rested from that. Still had a bit of her Monster, and we checked into the place that we're in now. It's a really nice, small, chill little place. We're in a cool area currently in St Kilda of Melbourne, and feeling good. We checked out the gym before we checked in to the house yesterday as well, to the little apartment that we're at. It's nice to be on the road. Stuff we talked about, it getting sorted and all that is sorted, so that's pretty sweet. I'm pretty chuffed to have all of our accommodation and that sorted. I think I can go a little heavier with these, to be honest. I can go 20. And honestly, today's biceps and back, but honestly I just kind of picked up the first weight that I could see, or came to the first exercise I could see, because it's just what was available, and the gym's pretty chockers. So we'll pop these back and get some 20s, 20 kangaroos. Now, the cool thing is, Yana and I have been discussing more about, oh man, the 20s look so big, about what I'm doing and what my brand is. And the primary thing she asked me today, and we've been it's a weird thing because we know that our commitment is treating the current business like a full-time job, so office hours and that, but we're both a bit funny when it comes to office hours and what we define as that. So sometimes something I noticed is I was getting a little whelmed with some of the stuff we were doing, and as a result it was like, we want, I'll get the same, that'll be fun. We won't really, I don't think it's focused enough the way that we're doing the meetings right now. We're really just both sort of bringing stuff up and like, hey, this is what we're doing, right? Oh, what do you think of this? So we had a bit of a meeting whilst we went out to the shops today, just walked down to get some supplies. And I mean, it was good. I think it's a little disjointed. We'll figure out the flow naturally because that's what we do. So we just will. It happens. Yeah, I'm still figuring out like what my office hours are, how I operate. I quite like the idea of like getting up early and working from about 5 or 6 a.m. till 1 p.m. About 8 hours there, and then doing whatever we do for the rest of the day, making some more content in that after, because now I have to remember our primary thing, the full-time job, is what we're building together, the joint company, and then my content creation and all that it's part of that. So that's the full-time job. We're definitely going to be working more than 8 hours a day. I'm feeling pretty good about that, and what we talked about on the way over was really just distinguishing roles, and one of my primary things is being an influencer. She was asking today, what do I get intuitively to be more of an influencer or a service-based business brand thing? And it works perfectly. I got intuitively influencer, but also she's more of the service-based business anyway, and I'm fit more naturally into being an influencer. So now it's like, instead of us doubling up, we kind of have the one thing that both filter into our joint thing. Let's get this set, have a pray and go. Let me grab some weight. I keep kicking my water bottle over. My ding-dabbling water bottle. All right. This is a fun exercise to do first. One more. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, quite like the stretch on those. That's different. But yeah, because as you know, I don't normally do those. So let's go put some weights away, and I'm going to switch the mic position. I reckon my glasses will make way more sense. So let me just adjust the transmitter settings over here so you have something to look at. Put to about 6-7 will be good. Alright, you'll still be able to hear me. Watch me put these weights away. Turn this down a bit. Alright, let's get it. I'm going to wipe this stuff. Kick. Okay. Well, that's good. 2 sets at the start. A bit more arms first. And we'll go into some pulling stuff. Get a towel to wipe this down. Well, let's see what we do next. I actually haven't scoped out too many of the machines or anything like that yet, so we'll see if the machines are ones that I want to use, as well as if I want to do some free weight stuff, where their equipment is, like their weight belts and that. So I imagine, because this gym has like this in the other one now, the Richmond one, I'd imagine that it's they're at the front desk. Because then you can go get all of your stuff from there. So I'm going to go suss it out. Because we'll either do a machine next or some pull-up based stuff. Which honestly, I'm chill with either way. This is so huge right now. The camera tripod is massive when I have it fully extended. I'll bring it down a little bit, keep it out of the way as we walk around. And I don't really know if they have any of the machines that I want. Oh, battery's about to die. Let's change it. Let's give this a whirl. Just pop it right here. Zoom in on my machine. This is quite a crowded unit, if I'm being honest. So we're just finding somewhere to put all the stuff. Fit there. That is one thing about this camera as well that I remember is not so convenient, is the battery does not last the longest. And there's that filming time thing. I don't really mind, especially for solo sessions. Alright. Didn't really see anything that I wanted back-wise, but I saw this and I was like, these are always nifty. And we're doing more biceps focus anyway nowadays. So we'll get the primer in here. See how we feel with it. It's quite weird, but not so bad. We'll roll with it from there. See how the framing is. I like it. Honestly, it'll probably be emphasizing about the same portion as the other machine I was using, but we got 50 kilograms, but that's fine. It's manageable. Definitely something I can use. I do notice like no one's filming around here, but it is what it is. Oh, my mic pack fell out of my bag. Out of its little pouch. So, just gonna do our thing. You can always set up some dumbbell rows in that. Let's bring this up a tiny bit. Chopping my head up there. Yeah, that is good. That'll do. Yeah, and it's good, because right now we've got much more emphasis on the arms side of things. Is the priority, so arms, and then some back later on in the session. So first half arms, second half back. I'm not mad about it. Get some big old biceps. Still using my BizFit principles. Yeah, so something I've been thinking about as of late is that singularity of focus and how much of a difference that makes in terms of your training, but also your business. So being able to commit yourself fully to something and have that compound. Pretty neat. I've been listening more for Mosey lately. A couple of things from my last client was that I think is interesting. What sparked it is what I've been listening to with Mosey lately, and it reminds me of like what you listen to is very important. So instead of music in that in between or scrolling, I'll put some of that on, and it replaces my scrolling, and it helps because it's like stuff that you're listening to that spurs you on to do more stuff. It's like more like business oriented stuff because that's the season that we're in. So it's essentially, I don't know, it's not just Hormozy says, but the idea of choose your heart. So life is either, I was talking to a client about it today, life is either, and in business sense we're talking about this, it's either hard because you choose to commit to doing something meaningful and challenge yourself, and that's hard, and it's a good kind of hard to for it. Or it's hard because of the complacency and the laziness that comes from that. You're forced into a certain type of hard that's unpleasant. It's hard to be fat and unfit and unhealthy and sick, but it's also hard to be fit and healthy and move well and live a great life. They're just different types of hard. Like one feels much better, which is the choosing meaningful challenges, and the other does not feel very nice at all. And I found that, I think that's been one of my primary issues with business the last couple years was I was like just being complacent, being like, oh, you know, it's hard to do business. Like, what's the point you're always putting into it? And I'm being honest about this because I think people can learn from it. It's hard, and I kind of trailed off with that. But now I'm like, it's even harder. This sucks more because like now it's hard, and the business hasn't compounded that much because of the intention, and like I have less active cash flow right now coming from that business, and I'm like, well, that's not fun. There's just like less options for that, and it's like, in spite of what people say, because I've been there and done all these things, it is better to have more money. So you can have more money. We've obviously got our assets, our portfolio, but now we're being much more active with that stuff, because you can also just do more. You can serve more and serve better. So let's get this stat. Let's get this bread. Definitely feel the burn in those. I think that's a little, like, not enough weight with the 50 there. I might even go up to 68 because it's a bit like 12 reps is a bit too many for my liking. Even if I'm pushing a bit more hypertrophy, 6 to 8 clean reps is my preference. And that's what I'm back to a bit more of. Focusing on some range of motion on that, which is good. I'm just playing around with different weights at different gyms. It's good. Enjoying it. I might set a timer on my phone because then I can do more accurately. 5 minutes. Keep track of my time. 5-minute timer. It is doing it. It said it couldn't, so yeah. Well, last video that I had up there was Alex Hormozy, was like the anti-routine stuff, which is basically saying this was like 3 years old, this video, but a lot of the time people have these elaborate, oh, I do this and this and my ass sparking that and routine, and like that'll make you a millionaire, but not really. That might be stuff that millionaires, billionaires and that do, and I do that stuff too. I enjoy doing it, but there is something to getting up and getting straight to work that wires you a little bit differently as well. It does really set you up to do some cooler, it's a different kind of headspace, and it's something I definitely used to do. I used to get up at about just before 7 a.m, get straight into work, 7 through till about 12-ish, 1 p.m, have lunch for an hour, and then we train at the gym at like 2 p.m, and there's definitely a lot of freedom within that structure of discipline, and we enjoyed it, like really enjoyed it, really did some cool stuff, and it's that season again, it's that season of going for it, really going for it that way. Let's change where the camera is, because this lady's had to be worried about it for a bit. Let's make someone else worried about the camera in here. Hello. Rotate it down this way. You get a bit of a view this way. I think that should be good. Let's see how it looks when I sit down. But yeah, it's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll do. I can talk straight to you. That's not in the way of anyone's treadmills or anything. You know, my primary concern is like, oh, there's nowhere to put it, there's no space, everyone's going to be judging. But if you just commit to it, you're like, I'll find somewhere to put it. It's fine. And it is. It really is fine that way. Yeah. It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful. And yeah, sometimes just not optimizing everything, because I know some guys, they do that with training. They're like, technically you gotta hit this many lifts, this many reps, at this RPE. But it really all just comes down to just do something that's fun, progressively overload, train with decent intensity, pick some decent exercises. You can have terrible exercises with terrible form. If you just keep showing up, I'd say consistency and progressive overload are the main things. Oh. Yeah, because it's like, you see all the guys that are like, been in the gym for like 40 years, terrible form on like bench and that, like half rep and stuff, or half rep and pull-ups and that. And the jack still, and you'd be like, hang on, technically, that's not correct. Then you're like, it works. It's not, is it the best way to have done it? No, probably not, but it's something that's, well, what's best as well. Is it like, if it was right for them and it helped them stay in the gym consistently, be fit and enjoy training and get all the benefits of that, who's to say that that's wrong, you know? You know? What are we judging? What's the judging criteria for what's best or right? You know, is it just the scientific studies? Man, that's rough. It's like as soon as you're more conscious of the time and you look at it, you're like, oh, 5 minutes. You know, like it just goes by slower when you're more aware of it. I don't know if I like that too much. But I got about 15 minutes left of this session, just about. Like Yana's Pilates 6:15 to 7. So it's good. Everything's working out really nicely. In this place, I am being mindful in this season of business to not feel like I'm always behind, because sometimes I'll get really wrapped up in feeling like I'm doing a lot more by multitasking and not getting as much done as a result. So I've been working a lot on singularity of focus. So if I am shooting off messages, that's all that I'm doing, and that's all of my focus. Which is why it's a little difficult sometimes when we sporadically have meetings. I don't necessarily do the best with that, I don't think. So it's part of what I want to do today is set parameters. What time we're going to have meetings, what time are we going to be doing certain things. And for today, one of the things we're doing is setting the parameters for outreach, or like the requirements for outreach. So outreach is my specialty. I'm really good at it. I enjoy it. So it's being like, who are we reaching out to? Why are we reaching out to them? Is it to sell them on something, which is like, if that's your intention, you do that. Or is it to make connections? Is it to spread that brand awareness more so? Because then the way that you'd message those people, a little bit different, because your intention's a bit different. The one is like forcing, essentially you're manually creating reach with outreach. Well, I mean, it's in the term called outreach. It's instead of relying on an algorithm to push you out to this many people, you are messaging that many people, and they're at least getting exposure to your message and might look at your profile and that, you know. And I've seen a lot of people doing that with some of their stuff, but I think I can do it so much better than they've done. And that's part of the fun of it for me. Is like, I've seen people do it for you. They just send you their video, and it's like, all right, I don't actually want to do that. Or some people just pitch straight out the gate. I've got a really cool idea for using it as manual reach and making those connections that way. If you have that intention, you form a different kind of relationship with people. Let's get this set. Second and last set of this one. Let's get it. Form. It's a little compromise on that. Let's drop it down to 54 keggers. a few more reps. A little bit of that bodybuilding style stuff. Bit of a sick pump. Full form, full range. Okay. Well, that's all I've got there. Let's get a tissue and wipe this thing. I don't think that they have the kind of back equipment that I'm after here. I don't think they even have another row or anything like that. It's a lot of low body stuff over here. Oh no, they've got a T-bar row over there. Okay, sick. There's a little T-bar row. Maybe there's more back equipment over at the plate loaded stuff, so I'll pop back there. I'm going to zone in on that. Not going to do any pull-ups today. I'm going to keep it back focused. Okay. So, let's head on over. Am I zoomed out or zoomed in? Zoomed out. Alright, let's find something. Find something we like. We got elevators here, straight up to the gym. Pretty neat. Okay, so, got the T-bar. Adductor stuff. Okay, I think most stuff's taken. So the T-bar will be it for me right now. Oh, that does not make sense to put my stuff there because that is right where I'm going to smush it. That here makes sense. And I can scope out some gym stuff from here. Yeah, someone's on that plate loaded row, so Kaey-Lib's going to set up on here. And that might honestly be most of what I do for today. Let's see if we can set up any cool angles here. I kind of doubt that that's going to be a cool angle. It's not going to be high enough. I'm just going to be looking weirdly at my back. So, what we'll do, there's cable row over here, but someone's on that, I think. Plus, I want to do something a little different. Oh, we can go from here. Just a straight shot across. Yeah, sure. See what it looks like. Alright. Put this on here. 20 is not going to be enough for a primer. Okay. We'll see how this is. I think this is Techno Gym, my favorite brand ever. It's a Techno Gym. I'm grateful for it. One primer will do it. That'll do. My way of a primer. My rhomboids, because of an old injury-esque thing that I've had before. Sometimes they flare up a bit. Yeah, but that's just, sometimes that means just more reps. I'm thinking I might be able to pop you back a little bit and zoom in, because right now it's just so close. I'll tell you what, hide it. Kind of tuck you away at this pillar here, and we'll set it up so we can zoom in. Oh, look at that, cinematic. Yeah, that there would be good, I reckon. See how it looks. You should be able to see more than you saw just then. From here, yeah, I can see far enough. Yeah, and you can see me when I stand up. You know what I might even do? Look at that. I just put the calf machine all the way up, so there you go. That's how you know that guy's an influencer. He just does whatever he wants with the gym machines and that. I'm embracing it. I used to hate the idea of being an influencer, but now I love it. I think it's one of the, like, pretty cool job to say that you have. Pretty cool to say that that's your work, if I'm being honest. This has a lot of, oh my goodness, who is that tall for the calf raise? Let's put 4 plates on here. I think that's a good amount to not be too heavy. I didn't do the promo with my straps, but that's okay. That'll be not too heavy, but also not too light. So we'll really squeeze out some nice repetitions. Something I heard from Mr. Mosey was, and it appealed to me straight out the gate, but I have to take into consideration the whole context, because he was saying something that he did in busy periods of time was his minimum effective dose for his training is like twice a week, 2-3 days a week. I love training more than that, and plus I'm an influencer, so I kind of need to train more. There's a train right outside here. So that's my thing, and I also I've got some big glutes, nice glutes, and so I train more than that. But something that he was saying is he'd fast 2 days a week, so he'd just have caffeine, like coffee and bone broth. And I was like, honestly, sounds pretty appealing, because eating is one of those things that takes up a lot of my day. And even cooking and eating, so I was like, man, if I prepped some bone broth and did that, that'd be good. So maybe once a week I'll fast. Who knows how much time that gets you back. But I feel like you can get you back a fair bit. Right now I've started to just like do stuff whilst eating, because when you eat like a kilo or so of meat a day, it can take you a while. Because you also want it to not necessarily upset your stomach. And I find, like, honestly, for me, that's a tip that I used to have for hard gainers, is like eat mindlessly. Because if you're eating that much and it's rough on your body, if you just zone out, eat, and keep the pace up with doing that, you can eat so much more than when you're conscious of it. Some people say that's not so great for your digestion. I haven't found that to be the case. I find that, unfortunately, one of the things that I love, liquid calories, they're a bit rougher on the digestion, so like protein shakes and milk and that, not so great on the digestion. So, you know, it is what it is. Meat it is. And more about that performance. Let's get this set and go from there. Alright. Let's get this. No, it's funny. I think because of joint restrictions I have on my left bicep and my left pec are both bigger than my right side. I think it's a bit of an advantage to have that, because my full range of motion is reached sooner on those, it seems. So it's like my stimulus for all of that is, it just comes on quicker. Maybe, who knows? Could be some woo-woo bro science there. But technically, I have a degree in sports science, so that's, you can take that from the word of a sports scientist. Oh yeah, I have a degree in sports science. Sick. What can I use that for? Alright, I'm not gonna lie, that was not the cleanest of stuff. What's the time? 6:55. Okay, gonna give it 5 minutes. We'll do one more set. I'm gonna drop the weight down a tiny bit to 10 kilograms down, and then I'm gonna do a little drop set with it. So I'm gonna go like shook a cone and shook a cone. Yeah, I think I can just get that a little bit cleaner than it was just then. So, we'll grab a 10. There's one over there. I'll go across the gym and grab it. Yeah, that road doesn't look too bad there. Yeah, so, it's good. Good times, good times. We won't burn out on the first set. Go a little harder on the second set. By way of drop sets and such. I don't believe Yana will be, well, she'll be done with Friday about 7 o'clock. So I'll wrap up. Maybe I'll do a shorter rest slightly for this one. Yeah, we got some time. And I'll do one set of wide grip pull-ups at the end. Just for a bit of fun. Oh. Look at that. They took the pull-up attachment off the middle of the wide table row. I think it's because it doesn't fit. Maybe too many people. This is a pretty big, busy gym for the size of it relative to where it is right now. Honestly, I think if I came to this gym as like the gym to sign up to, I would say it's not worth it. But this gym is a benefit to the other gym that we go to. Pretty worth it, like convenient somewhere to be, just to quickly dip down. It's less than a kilometer from my house, so it's like a 6-minute walk, 12-minute walk it says. So like I could run here in like 5 minutes. Wouldn't be too bad, 5-6 minutes. It would be a nice thing to do, which is initially what I was going to do. I'm thinking I might start my days off like that. It just helps. I find that movement helps wake me up. Movement and coffee is a nice way to wake up, as opposed to just not really doing much. And that way, it's like gets me straight out and moving. For me, I find movement creates momentum. So when I've got the momentum going, create more content, do more stuff by way of work and that. But if I just sit up and go straight to my desk, it's not so bad. But they're pretty good, because then I can also set out stuff to do by way of my, like the night before I can write out some of the content that I'm going to do, and then I can go film it first thing in the morning, and then I don't have to film it later in the day. So it'll be like whether it's at the gym or just out and about, probably go get some content. We'll see. I believe the main thing with this, to get some momentum, even movement with this, is set some parameters and just try it. Like go from there. It doesn't have to be what I'm married to, and adjust it accordingly. At least I'll have some kind of structure. It's like I'm going to look at it as, I've been using this a lot with my clients, because a lot of us, the common factor is the gym. It's like you have a workout structure and a plan, and then you can gauge from there. So the analogy I used training-wise for my client today was, the choose your hard thing, because he was like at a point where for the last month we've been talking about him taking 2 months leave that he has from the job to focus on going all in on his business. But as a result of that, he's been putting up a conversation. We've been having the same conversation for the past month. Finally had it today right after our chat, which is great. Real stoked for him, because there was a lot of stuff I understood going into that. There was more benefit for him not having the conversation than there was him having it. But a big thing that he got kind of placated him was, I know I'm gonna have the chat. It's just other things that come up. My boss said this, that. I don't want to make it hard for him. So when we work through all that stuff, all the benefits of him that he saw for not having the chat, then it's like he could own that stuff and drop it and then move forward. And one from yesterday was, my client was asking me, one of my clients came to me and was like, I want to know how to run. We've worked together before, run my business properly to make good money as a PT. Said a few things, but essentially it was have more confidence charging premium, but also establish a business that's not tied to just his time in the gym and doesn't take away from him being in the gym. He loves being in the gym 30 to 35 sessions a week, 25 to 35. But anything beyond that, you kind of need to, when you're doing something that time intensive, have that to make more money. But you also, if you took 2 weeks off, your business is gone, or it falls off very quickly, and that. So introducing other streams like online or more of a premium service and that to maybe pad some of that for time off, because he wants to travel 20-30% of the year, or have the option to. So something that we're going is get a spreadsheet of, or just listing out who's on what clients are paying what. And he did ask me when we were on the call, why were you, and that's an interesting thing, sometimes he only does stuff when we're on the call, and it's like when you give, sometimes that's the thing with calls, it's like if you're like, oh, we'll check in every week, they'll do the stuff right before the check-in or on the check-in, because you normally allow a task to expand to the time that you give it. That's the amount of time that it takes. So anyway, he asked why we're doing this, because I'd already told him about it last week. The why, I was like, okay, well, think about it this way. Would you have someone who's not that, like, is pretty new to the gym, not that experienced, wants to lose fat, would you just be like, hey, just eat intuitively? Probably not. For most people, you'd want to track it for a little, even for a small period of time, get a baseline, and also help them develop an understanding and bring awareness to, oh, this is how much is in this type of food, and do it in a way that doesn't create a negative relationship with those, actually strengthens their relationship with food or with money, or their logic with money. That's what you'd start with. You wouldn't just chuck them in and be like, yeah, according time, start there. Yeah, because if they could, they would have. All right, let's get this set. And I gotta go. Okay, let's get this. Come on, for Jesus. All that matters is this set. Even though I got other stuff I want to do, all that matters is this. Give this full focus, full dedication for Jesus. Okay, we'll do one little drop set, superset. Maybe we'll take it to one plate off. And we'll go speed. Limit it to 8, fast as we can. Let's go. And then we're done. Give it everything. This is all there is left. That's pretty solid. I think Yana might be done now. It's Pilates time. Alright, let's put the 10. They don't have any trees around. Okay. Oh, no, they don't have any dumbbell trees. So, let's put some stuff away. Wrap up some thoughts on that. Yeah. So, Yana was also saying that's a thing with NLP. I was joking that it's like Terry in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He always speaks in analogies with Jim when he's like wedding people and that. But there's definitely a power to, yeah, Yana's here, perfect. Speaking to people in language that they understand, in terms that they understand, you know. Yeah, I think this phase is going to work perfectly because I do much more upper body than I do lower body at the moment. It's going to make more sense to go 2 pull sessions, 2 push sessions a week, or like back to back to back. Just like load up a lot of upper body stuff, and without the leg day in there. And yeah, that'd be good. Anyway, speaking to people in terms of their language, what they understand, will help them understand. And that's final note. I used to tell myself I'm really bad at analogies, and as a result I was quite bad with analogies. But when I told myself I'm great at analogies, I understand them and I'm a master at them, I'm really good at them, what happened? I got really good with analogies. So that's all for today. Hopefully you gained something. This is all the art of being man. Embody that and then it'll be all gravy, baby. And go for the real thing. Just put these pants on because then everything will fit in my bag much better. And we are Dunzo, Washington. So, yeah. No physique update today. I think that's when I got to take into account for the sessions when I'm filming them. Time-wise, like leave 5-10 minutes at the end for physique stuff, or who knows? Maybe that's what I'll do with my sessions first thing in the morning, because that's probably when it makes more sense to do. Alright, let's pack this stuff up. Keep it all gravy, baby. Love you guys.